My name's Jessica. I'm with Post-Concert Depression. Today we have Queen Herby with us here at Austin City Limits. Just going to chat all things music, festival, whatever. So I'm excited to have you here. I first want to bond with you. I'm sure you're probably sick of it, but my party trick is rapping Look At Me Now. I've definitely lost my touch, but I'm like, I love how you can do the same. And so I just wanted to say I love that was your come to the world moment. So tell me about that, or how that was for you, and can you still rap just as good?
Well, that's a really amazing party trick. I highly recommend this. If you want to impress your friends, learn Look At Me Now. Or I have a song that I wrote in homage to that song, which is called Busta Rhymes. Because it's people ask me all the time, how do you do that? But I will say it was a magical moment. What was that, 2011? That Carmen, oh my God, we're going all the way back. So early.
I know, I was still in college, so.
It's so wild to see all my babes that kind of grew up with me. And that was the jump off. So special.
Yeah. I know. I just was I know it's your start, but I was I have to bond with you because it literally is my party trick. I've definitely lost my touch, and I still have some of it. I'm sure we could tit for tat here. I did, when I was walking in, listen to your sound check. I heard you as I was waiting at the gate.
Amazing.
I tried to get in and get side saved for chapel, and but I was that would be so cool because I was her crowd's going to be
insane.
Are you going to watch her?
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, if I can get in. It's just an outdoor festival. It's will there be room?
I feel I'm going to be plastered in the back. I can't see anything. She's going to be a little ant, but
Worth it.
But we're also really looking forward to your set. So tell me, is there anything special planned for today?
Yes, today I get to use, festivals are fun because you get a little bit more production at times. So we're doing a bunch of magical tricks on the screen. So the storytelling is a little bit more intense than my normal shows. And then when I go out for the Alchemist tour here, Halloween and on, it's going to be more of that. So it's been a great experience to sort of have my little moments where I pop out of my time travel. I have a time travel moment where I leave and come back as a new bitch. And so that's really fun because the fans get to start to see what's in my brain.
Wait, that's so fun. I love the new bitch comment too.
Oh yes. We're all transformation station over here. It's we just had eclipses too, so all my babes are feeling it. It's next year is going to be so much better than this year in a lot of ways, astrologically speaking. So we're celebrating that in the set.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, I also love that Queen is in your name. My cat's name is Queenie, and I also always say I'm a queen, I'm a princess, so I just love that as well.
It's a powerful name.
Yeah.
I remember when I chose the name and I was damn, I'm claiming this. This is a big step for me, from where I started. So calling yourself a queen is highly recommended as well.
Yes. Yeah, we're all queens out here, or kings, or whatever, non-binary, whatever you want to call yourselves. I also, I knew when Look At Me Now, that blew up, and then I kind of fell off a little bit, and then my partner, who I just started dating, is obsessed with the music video Self-Aware.
Oh.
And I was and so now I keep singing the lyrics of, what is it? It's
I'm amazing, bitch.
Yeah.
And you know it.
Yeah.
I don't have to say shit because I show it.
I keep doing that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's so good, Duran. Shout out to Duran Bernard. He's such a genius. And I remember he walked into the studio that day and was just I have it. And it was done.
Yeah. I love it. It's just I just love your vibe, and it feels very female empowering, and the anthem, and just that you love yourself, and just yes.
That's the energy. I think they often say make your mess your message. So where I grew up in the Midwest and Bible Belt, it was a very different way of thinking of yourself. It was very selfless rather than selfish. And so it's been a journey trying to figure out, wait, where does my inner power come from? And then I found out a bunch of babes and goddesses out there don't feel their inner power as much as they could. And so that's kind of become the calling card.
Yeah, I love that because I think both can exist at the same time. I think you have to look out for yourself first, and then you can also be selfless and help others. But if you're not filling up your own cup, if you're just continuing to drain and drain and drain, I totally relate to that as well. So
yeah.
Very empowering. Moving on, the publication that I run, it's called Post-Concert Depression.
Love it.
And so it's mental health focused and fan focused. So I'm a fangirl at heart. I love music. I love interacting with artists. I love following bands around and going to see shows all over. So getting into mental health, I know just being in the industry for so long, how has that affected your mental health? And talk to me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. It is such a journey. when I was in my 20s, for example, I was like, it's great. I'm just going to get drunk and do all these things and it's going to be fine. And I would get sick every tour, you know. And then by the time I switched over to Qveen Herby, which was a major transformation moment. I became a lot more intentional and like I finally had something to say that was my own. It was like my solo career. It was like all these things. So I will say like it's still really important to keep up with all your rituals. Like if you're a witchy girl, like it's meditation or whatever it is that you do. I carry around like all these essential oils for some reason. Like right now I'm on frankincense. Like you just breathe these energies in and with your intention ground yourself so now it's more about how far can my energy, like my aura, reach in a theater, or like festivals are really fun for that because you're like you can test to see like how far you can connect with people. And that has become my goal, whereas I feel like I was more dissociating back in my 20s. It was a lot more like I wasn't energetically prepared to really embody what it means to be a touring musician, you know. And I see it a lot in the young performers. I'm like, holy shit, there should be like a school or like a boot camp for these babes that are just starting out, just so we don't see them get so overwhelmed, because it's wild. Like even just being famous needs like its own handbook.
I feel like, yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I am not one to, like, I like attention, but I don't want the whole world to, like, know who I am. And so I'm like, yeah, I can't even imagine, like, the pressure that comes with that. Or, like, I know you just mentioned, like, meditation and stuff. Is that how you stay grounded, like, while you're touring and, like, when all these people have eyes on you and stuff like that?
I wasn't even sure I was going to want to tour. As Qveen Herby, I was like, she's an internet girl. We don't need to do that. And I booked a couple shows like literally a year ago from today and in LA. And I was like, okay, I'm going to practice all the shit I preach and I'm going to learn to like really ground in the energy. And it was still overwhelming, like hard to, you almost like your nervous system. Somebody told me that Madonna used to go home after every concert and just like put her head on the dining room, like in the dark dining room, just sit there until like the buzzing came down. Like your nervous system can't fully integrate all of it. So I feel like I've gotten pretty good at, like, I became so curious about like is this even humanly possible? And so it's not for the faint of heart, but I do think we're getting closer to a day where people can actually be fully present and enjoy this wild life, you know, as a performer.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I can't even imagine I feel like as a fan, like going to shows, like even after this weekend, I'm like every day I'm like, I have a come down of like, I'm like, I just need a second. Like I get back to my hotel and I just like sit in front of the AC and I just like sit there for a second and I'm like, oh, I just need a breath.
That's it.
And I literally can't even like talk to anyone. I'm like, oh, I just need a minute.
So now you know, if you are a fan watching or if you're a festival girly, like it's the same feeling and it's so important for us all. So that's cool, actually. I do an aura cleanse during my set because I'm like, hold on, let's take a second to get present because it is a long day too. Festivals are sweaty and you need like Band-Aids and sunscreen. Like it's survival a little bit. So good job. Shout out to everybody who's braved it. I know a lot of my babes have told me like, oh, Qveen, I have social anxiety and like coming to your concert, I actually felt comfortable, you know, even going alone, because all of us now are in that vibe of like, oh, this is very unnatural, but what a gift to be together and share this energy when it's in that like grounded space.
Yeah, I feel that as well. Speaking of post-concert depression, have you ever heard that term? Do you know what it is? What is it to you? And have you ever experienced it?
Spoiler alert, artists have post-tour depression.
I was literally going to ask that.
Yes. And it's funny, I watched out very carefully for this last time my tour. I've been just doing like these one-offs. Finally in October and November, I get to go on a real tour that's long and continuous. But I've been getting all this experience leading up to it. Like, okay, feel like the plunge of emotion after and just sort of be present with it, like breathe through it, try to feel it and just sit in the gratitude rather than the loneliness or like the emptiness that. So yeah, maybe we could do a like aura cleanse for y'all at some point. That would be fun for your audience.
Oh, I would love that.
Because the depression is real, but I think it's a beautiful indicator that like you just experienced something amazing. And now it's over for now, but not forever.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that would be hard. I know Miley Cyrus has talked about that she doesn't tour because like it boosts her ego too much, that the come down after like the tour is like too hard for her to handle. So yeah, I would imagine post-tour depression is something you experience. I guess like you said, this is your first tour in a while, right?
Yes. I mean, I've been performing since I was like 18, so I definitely see it. Yeah, that's really interesting because Miley's has experienced fame from such a young age. Her perspective would be so interesting. I should see what she has to say about that.
Yeah, I know I think she did an interview with like Rolling Stone or something where I read about it. But yeah, final question. As a fangirl and like I love being in fandoms, does your fandom have a name? And is there any kind of two-part question? Is there any standout fan that's been with you from the beginning who like their name, like you connect with them, like they're at every show? Like I used to do that for a band, so I'm always curious like how your fans are.
I will not name names because folks like you are so special. The fact that artists can feel safe as well. There's just like a few people that just go the extra mile. I get the most incredible gifts and letters and DMs from my babes, and I keep in touch with a lot of them one-on-one where I can. Yeah, it's kind of like it becomes your family in a way.
Yeah.
Because we're all on the same journey, and it's so sweet to also notice like some people are on their spiritual journey, some people are doing fashion. So my audience calls themselves Queendom with a V.
Oh my God, love
Queendom. And then my like VIPs on Patreon, we're the Herby house. So we have sugar daddies in there because they literally pay $5 a month to support my ass, my independent ass. But we do meditations, and they get a lot more like one-on-one time with me. But man, thank you for supporting me and like supporting any artist. Like y'all make this crazy lifestyle feel somewhat normal because it's like we get to ride through the ups and downs with each other. It's pretty magical.
I love it. Anything you want to plug before we end?
Okay, well, come see me on The Alchemist Tour. You're going to find out my villain origin story. It's a very theatrical show. If you haven't seen my show, we're going to have a very transformational time. I throw out wigs. This is important. You know, if you can catch a queen wig, like you become a Herby girl instantly. And then, check out the patreon.com/HerbyHouse. That's where we do all like the more witchy stuff. And I love y'all so much.
Yay. Well, I'm definitely going to try to hit up your Denver show, and I'll try to get a wig up in there. So
Please.
Thank you so much for chatting.
Thank you for having me.